there's lots of things I like about tax. I certainly enjoy the intellectual challenge. I often find with the work that I do, it's a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle, and it's about sort of finding all of the pieces and then trying to put them together, and I really enjoy that aspect. I also enjoy working within a tax team. I think the collegiate nature, we're all, well, certainly at my team, there's an element of, we can enjoy being tax nerds together, which I enjoy. Look, certainly the involvement that I've had with the Tax Institute and the opportunities that I've had through the education program and my CTA designation have certainly helped me in my career. I've been involved with the Tax Institute since I was, I think, just out of university, so it's been a long-standing relationship, and I think the way that it's helped me has changed a lot over time. But certainly I think there's the collegiate nature of the Institute. There's been the learning opportunities. First of all, learning technical, but also the opportunity to present over the years. I remember doing my first presentation and I was extremely nervous and my hands were shaking on the lectern. And the Tax Institute has really allowed me to kind of develop those skills, which has been great, and now it's something I really enjoy doing. Well, certainly tax has changed a lot in the time that I've been practicing. I think that, I think the pace of change is certainly increasing within the tax profession. I think I work primarily in international tax, and so one of the key changes I've seen, and I think that this is something that's certainly going to be impactful for the future, is transparency. So I think we need to assume that everyone knows everything, and that we're in a transparent world, and that enforcement is out there. So I have clients say to me, oh, well, what do I need to communicate? And I think, well, you need to communicate everything and keep track of everything, because there's no hiding these days. So it's an even playing field. I think tax technical is really important in what we do, and I certainly feel that education is a core part of that. I think structured education is certainly a key component and has assisted me in my career, in combination with other things. So I think there's a combination of on-the-job learning, structured learning, giving presentations and things like that. But I think where structured learning really assists is in just filling the gaps, because I find that when you do client work, you mainly just focus on the issue that's relevant to that particular client, but there may be other areas that you then don't have to deal with, so you end up with gaps in your knowledge. So I think that the role of structured education is to make sure that you're across everything. So my advice to young practitioners just starting out, I think certainly having focus on your career is really, really important. I think, and also taking your career into your own hands. That's probably, I think, the most important thing. I think sometimes there can be a feeling that it is a team effort in terms of, I know when I sort of mentor people that I work with, of course there's an element that comes from me, but I think one should never leave one's career in somebody else's hands. And I think what you'll find is that other people in the profession really want to help you and will enjoy helping younger practitioners. But sometimes I think if those younger practitioners can reach out just to kick the process off and really take that into their own hands, I think I think that's really going to help to accelerate their career. So what insights have I taken from the convention so far? Well, I think one I would say is that tax is a very small world in coming across many familiar faces, but which has been a wonderful thing. I think internationalisation is one key insight. I've always worked in international tax, but when I look at the tenor of many of the presentations here, even the ones that weren't intended to be international in nature, they've been very much focused on BEPS, and transparency and other issues on the international stage. And I think that's been, for me, quite an interesting insight, and certainly not the focus of conventions that I've had in the past. I think the cooperation in the profession, what's been great to see here at the convention has been that we have so many people from the ATO, including Chris Jordan, the Commissioner of Tax, and it's great that he takes the time out to come and engage with others in the profession, and other people from the ATO, and we have academics here as well. We have people who work in-house, and I think that mixture of people getting together and being cooperative, because really we're all in this together, which is great. So the tax profession is changing rapidly, and I think I think a key question is what should practitioners do to deal with change. And I think for me it's probably two elements. I would say that there's a combination of really focusing on the depth of technical skills. I think that I just can't understate that. Well, I think we have a fear that maybe AI might take that over one day. That day has not yet come, and I think that what we may find is that AI will take over the simpler parts of the analysis that we might do ourselves today. So I think that means that we've got to be constantly improving our technical skills to sort of stay ahead of the AI. But also about relationships. I think that much of what we do as tax practitioners is helping people in their businesses, and it's a lot more than just technical. And I think it's about supporting people and really having that empathy and understanding, and thinking forward to what people really need and want. And I think that's the part that I think it's very hard for a computer to replicate. So I think that that's a really key skill that people need to be developing.